Yeti le Cry de l'Homme, Yeti, Cry of the Snowman, is a French film made in the year 2000. Honestly, this was kind of a surprise for me. It's not a horror film, but a drama. We have the guys over at the Bigfoot Film Appreciation Circle on Facebook to thank for finding this one, because otherwise, I would have never known this movie even existed. Let's dive in and see what Yeti is all about. First off, there is a release of an English dub, so that's good. I can actually understand what's going on. Some guy goes into a shop that's selling healing plants and talks to the store owner, looking to get info on the ever-elusive Yeti. At first, the shop owner wants nothing to do with him, until he sees a very unique scroll the man has. So he makes him a deal. He'll tell him everything he knows about the Yeti, in exchange for the scroll. A long time ago, two hunters went deep into the mountains, following gigantic footprints. They see the beast they're tracking and fire at it. It screams and they run away.
The Yeti had returned.
Now in the village at the base of the mountain, we meet Tenji and his family. He's the local doctor, and get this, he uses plants to heal people. That sounds kind of familiar, right? I wonder who the shopkeeper is. Anyway, Tenji is loved by everyone in the village, and he treats you, no matter what your financial status is. But this means every year he has to go up in the mountains to replenish his stock of healing plants. This is a special year, because he's taking his son, Nache, with him. As they travel up together, they pass some strange monks, and Nache finds a scroll that they dropped. The very same scroll the man had in the beginning. A little later, they take a look at it, and the first thing the kid notices is some plant. You aren't more curious about the giant Bigfoot that's front and center? Well, it turns out that this plant is very special. It's called the snow orchid, and it's believed to be a myth, harder to find than the Yeti himself, for the plant's special healing capabilities. Basically, it can instantly heal any wound. For a doctor, that's gonna come in handy. While they sleep, we meet the big bad of the movie, Lord Wu, who rules over the valley and is feared by everyone. Basically, he's a big jerk. He's heard the rumors that the Yeti has returned. He wants to capture it and keep it as a trophy.
To capture a Yeti, the trophy of his life.
The next morning, Nache finds huge footprints and decides to follow them. His dad wakes up and chases after him, but slips and falls into a cave, where he passes out. Nache runs all the way back to the village for help, but not before the Yeti scoops up Tenji and takes him back to his home. When he wakes up, he sees a baby Yeti laying next to him, dead. That's not good. Worse yet, he has to crawl around due to his injury, and he finds human remains. That's really not good. Just then, the Yeti returns, and Tenji has to pretend to be passed out. The beast checks in on him, and then goes over and scratches his back on the cave wall. This part stands out to me because it's such a dad thing to do. Who hasn't seen their dad go to the corner of a room and scratch their back like this? Anyway, after a good scratch, he goes to tend to his long-gone son, whistling to it, but getting no response. So he moves over to Tenji, and I guess spoons him for the night to keep him warm. While he sleeps with what is probably the world's smelliest blanket, Nacha makes it back to the village, and they gather a search party. Lord Wu catches wind of the story and readies his men to capture the beast. Tenji wakes up to blood dripping on his face, blood from a bullet wound. But then he hears the search party calling out for him. He scurries over and tries to be seen, but it's no use, and the beast gets him first. not hurting him or anything. I guess he just wants Tenji to be his pet? A little later, we see that the Yeti gathered up some snow orchids, which obviously piques the doctor's attention. He watches as the Yeti tries to revive his son, but it's no use. The flower's power only works on the living, and he can't bring back the dead. Mad, the beast throws Tenji against the wall, and all he can think to do is whistle. Like he heard the beast doing to his son earlier on. And it works. He puts him down, and Tenji gets to work on healing the Yeti. He knocks him out with some incense and then gets the bullet out. That's when he puts two and two together. That man killed the child. While the abominable snowman is passed out, Tenji uses this opportunity to use the snow orchid on himself and heal his leg. And it works like a miracle, instantly healed. Later on, the Yeti figures everyone could use a snack, so he takes Tenji with him to find some food. They chow down on some nasty frozen carcass and share a few laughs. Then, the creature shows him where the snow orchid grows. He's amazed. There's enough here to heal people for years. Back at the cave, the two bury the Yeti child. They share a moment, and then Tenji decides it's time for him to head home. So he does, leaving his new friend all alone. Tenji tells his family all about the experience and shows them the snow orchids. Lord Wu hears about it and interrogates him, but Tenji isn't about to betray his new friend, and in the end, Wu is convinced that he doesn't know anything. That night, Tenji and his wife are just about to get it on when he hears something outside. The Yeti came for him. That's not good. The village is too dangerous for him. Tenji tries to get him away, but it's too late, and Wu's men chase after him. After a little cat and mouse, the Yeti is captured and taken back to Wu's camp. Wu decides he's going to take his new catch down the mountain and try to impress the king. Little does he know that this would kill the Yeti, because he isn't used to the lower altitude. So Tenji joins the monks to try to save his friend. That's commitment. I wouldn't shave my head to help out any of my friends. Well, the monks quickly catch up to Wu, and it looks like the Yeti is passed out, and not looking good. The monks offer assistance, and not wanting his prize to die on him, Wu agrees. Tenji uses the snow orchids and works on healing the Yeti. But even bald, Wu recognizes Tenji, and a fight breaks out. But come on, who fights a bunch of monks? Haven't you played Mortal Kombat?
Goro wins.
Well, as you would expect, Tenji and the monks win, and the Yeti, now fully recovered, knocks Wu over a cliff. The Yeti goes home, and Tenji visits him one last time on the mountain. Up there, he sees that there's another one of his kind waiting for him, a mate, and everyone lives happily ever after. Back in the shop, the store owner shows the man a snow orchid, confirming, if you didn't already catch on, that he is indeed Tenji. And that was Yeti, the Cry of the Snowman. Not too bad. I usually prefer my Bigfoot ripping people's guts out, but every once in a while, it's nice to slow down and watch a movie like this. It's predictable, with the stereotypical bad guy who wants to capture the Yeti. The surprise twist that the shopkeeper was Tenji all along was so easy to figure out that I'm sure a baby would have seen it coming. But despite its flaws, there is a lot of charm here. The Bigfoot costume looks great, one of the best that I've ever seen, to be honest. Further proving that most of the time, hair and makeup are better than a rubber mask. And doesn't that Yeti kinda look like David Harbour, maybe just a little bit? Actually, a fun fact, the guy who plays the Yeti is the same guy who plays the bouncer in An American Werewolf in Paris.
Okay.
So there's some useless trivia for you. I recommend Yeti Cry the Snowman when you want a little break from the blood and gore and maybe slow down and watch a Bigfoot movie with the family. I give it 3 Yeti back scratches out of 4.
Look, this temple is old. It's all broken.
It's not that old. I remember it was built when I was your age.